So let's take a look at pages 173 through 185. If you haven't already read 173 to 185, go ahead and pause the DVD at this point, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, you should have read pages 173 through 185, the cell. Now I want you to look at pages 185 to 193. And I want you to answer questions 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13, 17, 23, 25, 33, 47, and 57. Those are questions 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13, 17, 23, 25, 33, 47, and 57. So let's discuss the answers to this number of questions after the reading of the cell. Number 4. How do body cells, such as muscle or bone cells, reproduce? That would be number 2, mitosis, which can be found in the very first paragraph on page 173. If you look on page 173, about the third sentence in the first paragraph says, all cells reproduce from identical cells by reproduction. Sex cells reproduce by meiosis, while somatic cells, autosomes, or body cells reproduce by mitosis. There's your answer. Question number 5 on page 185. Which of the following is part of the cell theory? If you'll look in the second paragraph, make it the first paragraph, it talks about the cell theory. And you'll see that number 4 is the correct answer. All cells come from other cells. Now turn the page to 186, and you'll see number 7 says prokaryotic cells have no, that would be 5, membrane to separate nuclear components from the rest of the cell. That can be found on page 173. Now don't get hung up on some of the words that you find in this passage. They may seem difficult, but I don't want you to get hung up on the words. Just remember where you found those words, like prokaryotic, or prokaryotes, or eukaryotes. So let's try number 8. Most living cells are, number 2, eukaryotes. That can be found on page 173. Number 9. Which cellular component is responsible for the regulation of exchanges of substances between a cell and its environment? That would be choice number 4, the cell membrane. That can be found on page 173. Number 11. Which of the following is a cytoplasmic structure attached to the endoplasmic reticulum? Sounds tough, doesn't it? But the answer is number 4, ribosome. That can be found on page 173. Number 13, Golgi apparatus are most common in, number 1, glandular tissue, found on page 173. So far, all the answers we found have come from page 173. Number 17, osmosis and diffusion are processes that are used in homeostasis. They serve the purpose of, number 3, establishing a state of equilibrium. That answer can be found on page 175. Number 23, the type of organic molecule that is the basic structure of protein is, choice 2, amino acid. That can be found on page 175. Number 25, sexual reproduction involves, let's try them all out. Number 1, mitosis, no. Number 2, fission, no. So we know number 4 is wrong, all of the above, because it would include 1 and 2, but it doesn't. The correct answer is 3 chromosomes from each parent. That can be found on pages 175 and 176. Now on page 189, down at the bottom, item number 33. DNA is found in that would be choice 5, 2, and 3. DNA is found in the nucleus and the mitochondria. You can find that answer on page 179. Now let's try question 47 on page 191. Cells release energy by a process called, that would be choice 3, respiration. That can be found on page 182. Let's try 57. This one can be a little bit tougher. A hybrid organism would have a genotype of, the correct answer here is large A, little a, or choice number 1, AA, uppercase A, lowercase a. Let's take a look a little further on page 185 for the answer to that question. If you'll look at the diagram in the middle, this is known as the Punnett Square. It's a method used to predict the probable outcome of a particular genetic cross. Study the basis crosses worked out below. If you'll take a look at the one on the left, you see where the two intersect in each square. You'll see that with a genotype of uppercase A is 1, 2, uppercase A, lowercase a, and then 1, lowercase a. The phenotype, 1 is pure dominant, 2 hybrids, and 1 pure recessive.